Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Raine Builds video. This is The Sims 4, and today we're going to be redoing Daisy Hovel in Foundry Cove. And I can never remember it doesn't matter, you guys know where this is. But this is a long video, and I haven't got too much to say, so I added some background music. I hope it's not too loud. Yeah, well, where to start? Oh, well, I could tell you about the people who are living there. Their last name's Murray, and it's a widower and his little son. The dad's name is Roger, and the boy's name is Lyle. And it probably doesn't matter, but when I'm playing The Sims, I will think about names that I want. But for these types of builds, I go with that little dice thing in CAS. And that's what I've done for all of these. I just click until I see a name that looks kind of nice. Nah, I don't want to say nice. Nice is probably not. Sort of fits the mold, I guess. And then I just go with that. Not interesting, but whatever. This staircase, I was disappointed in myself. I did something different this time around. I kind of did the shell first, which might not sound, am I saying that right? Normally, I'll build the box, and then I'll stare at it, and then I'll say this should go here, and this should go here, and this should go here, and then I start making, I believe I add furniture before I add walls, but for this one, I had a pretty good idea what I wanted to do with it, because I'm sticking with the old world theme in this neighborhood. The older houses from the 20s, 1920s. But that staircase really messed me up after a while. Well, you'll see it in the video, but I ended up, after doing all this recording, going back and turning the stairs one last time, because well, I wasn't playing them, but to get the inside recording of the after, Roger needed to use the bathroom, and he wouldn't go in this one because the door and the staircase were, because it's dropped down too low. It's at the lowest height, and there was nothing I could do about it, so I had to take that door and move it into the vestibule at the entrance, if I'm even using the right word for that. That's what I call it, those little entry areas. I call them vestibules, and that might not be what it's technically called, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, the kitchen and everything else came out okay, but it was only the stairs that I had a problem with. I also took a little extra time on landscaping. You'll notice that towards the end of the video. And I started thinking that maybe I'm not big on landscaping. And that might be because there isn't too many options. Although that new debug cheat, it does open up everything to you. And I have been through it a couple times. I've used a couple of the things, but not for a speed build. But I'm thinking in later videos, I might concentrate more on a specific landscaping project just to see how far I can push myself. But I don't know, that's in the future. But This house didn't turn out as bad as I expected it to, because this was a quick one for me. Like I said, I knew going in what I wanted to do, and there were changes along the way, but I still don't think it was as good as the second one that I did across the street from this one. But, I also noticed that I'm doing a lot sameness. I am doing the same things. When it comes to room placement and design, and again, it might have something to do with lack of options, but I don't want to, it shouldn't be an excuse, is what I'm trying to say. I need to, I don't know, maybe spend a little bit more time. But gosh, I feel like I spend too much time. I spend, seriously, hours staring at a property, thinking about what I want to do before I, eventually go into the build. And yet I end up doing the same things. I guess a lot of people do that. I don't know, but I don't know. It's going to get boring real fast if I keep doing it this way. So I've got to come up with something. Also, I hope you notice I did pay more attention to zooming in a little bit better. But you're probably also going to notice that I end up forgetting about it a couple times. And again, that's so I can see what I'm doing. And I know it's not fair to you guys, so I know I need to keep that lower. Is that, yeah, lower instead of higher up. I'm trying. So forgive me for the couple times that it goes a little bit too high in the sky for you guys to see. It looks perfect for me at that height. But I don't know. I also, this is kind of like therapy for me, making these videos and talking. I don't want to go into the details or anything, but I'm not comfortable talking about myself or my life or, whatever normal people do when they make these videos. But I'm supposing that going forward I should start doing things like that so that the videos aren't utterly boring. I don't know. Well, I figure I could tell you that, well, I don't even know if this is interesting, but the beginning title, what was it, Dad and Boy? And I capitalized the word boy. I just finished binge watching Jacksepticeye's God of War series. God of War, was it? I don't know. The guy looked like, what's his name? The guy. The character in the game looked like, what is it? Oh, I'm so horrible with names. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, it doesn't matter. But anyway, Jack kept making fun of the way the guy talked because he kept saying boy. And so when I started this speed build here, I just kept hearing it in my head. So this is Dad and Boy. What is his name? Jason Momoa, for heaven's sake. See? So easy. And I get stumped. It's frustrating. But anyway, I watched that whole series. He did that, I think it was back in 2015. Not that it matters, but I picked it up and I just watched the whole thing for something to do. And he plays the game, he talks about the game, but once in a while he'll throw in a little tidbit about himself. And I know a lot of other YouTubers do that too. And I think it's embarrassing. But at the same time, I guess you could say I'm kind of curious. Oh, well, that was interesting. Oh, really? I remember having a, similar situation or whatever, things like that. But the point I'm trying to make is a majority of them speak to you as if they're being helpful, as if they have this degree in psychology and they're knowledgeable and they know exactly what they're talking about. And that aspect I don't, how do I say it without sounding bad? I'm sorry, I don't like it and I don't appreciate it, but I know a lot of viewers probably take it for granted and do like it. I just don't. It's just not. I don't. I wouldn't want that type of responsibility on my shoulders. So I don't want to go there with these videos. And I'm a boring person. I'm just there's not too much to me that, is worth discussing. But I think I mentioned in my first video why I can't do a face reveal, because I'm a substitute teacher in a couple districts in the area, and not a lot of them. I am very happy to say that a majority of the kids that I've taken care of over the years, they're either not allowed to or they just don't watch YouTube, and I think that's great. They're just too young for this platform, and that's an opinion. I'm sorry, but it's mine. But still, there's a risk that one of them might, maybe their mom would be watching. I don't know, but I doubt they would be watching a Sims 4 rebuild video, speed build. But I just don't want to take that chance. And even if it isn't the kids, it could be a teacher walking down the hall. It could be the principal, for heaven's sakes, or the secretary who keeps checking me in every time I show up at a school. I just don't want to take that chance. So that's that. What else can I tell you about me? I don't know. There's not much to tell you. But at least there's background music, so between my silence, you get to listen to a song. I don't think it's too loud. It doesn't sound too loud in my ears, but I don't know. Oh, and it is free. It's one of those royalty-free tunes that you can download and use on a video. It's called Soul, but I cannot remember who it's by, as usual. And it didn't say on the file. I even looked in properties, and it doesn't give the artist's name, which is frustrating. I suppose I should have gone back where I got the song and looked, but I forgot. Apologies. But I'm sure if you were interested, you could find it. And it can't even be 20 seconds long. Maybe 30 seconds long. It's just a little, ditty that repeats over and over, so. But some people like that, putting a song on loop and listening to it over and over. I remember doing that a couple times when I was much younger. But now I hardly listen to music at all. I don't know what happened, because if you had asked me a couple years ago if I could live without music, the answer would have been a definite no. I mean, my life was music from a very early age. And then just, it was like an overnight thing. I just stopped listening to music. So, I don't know. But I like this kind. I like, how would you call it, R&B that's, I loved R&B from the 70s and the 80s. When I was little, of course, it was Motown. I'm from the Detroit area, so I guess that goes without saying. And then it graduated to, would it be alternative? I can't remember, like alternative and ambient music and stuff like that. I really, really enjoyed that. I've always listened to classical music. Still do, just not as often. And I'd say that's probably about it for music. When I go up north into the UP for vacations, the only thing you get on the radio is country music. But it's just a given that you're going to be listening to country music up there in the woods. I don't mind it that much, but radio I mind a lot because it's always top 40s and they play the same songs over and over and over again, and that just drives me nuts. But I wouldn't listen to country music any other time, is all I'm saying. I only do it up north in front of a campfire with a beer in my hand. What else? I'm such a boring person. I don't know what I would tell you. I hope I'm not mumbling. I've got the mic right next to my mouth. I hope it's working. Because watching this video, there's not much I can tell you. Oh, the color schemes. That was... You guys are probably not going to enjoy the color schemes for this house. I don't know if I mentioned it in previous videos, but I tend to get these things, well, because I already told you, I spend a lot of time thinking about what I'm going to do before I start doing it. And by the time I get going, it starts getting dark, and I have that Flux thing on my computer where it adjusts the light as soon as the sun goes down here. And then the color gets kind of wonky on the screen. It goes really, really gold. And so when you're looking at colors in the game, they're not what they would be, in daylight. So I think I'm picking the color I want, and then the next day I look at it and I was like, what the heck? But I didn't mind the dad's room. That, what would you call that, aubergine and green? I don't mind that, but I'm sure a lot of you are going, ugh. I think it looks okay. Oh, and the windows. I might as well mention those too. I'm sure a lot of people might be thinking that they don't go with the house. And I felt that way, and I think there might even be a square window with the what would you call that? The plastic lines that go into to make the grade thing. I don't know. Whatever. But I also think it was too big, or it had too much on the outside. I don't remember, but I think I tried a couple of them, and this one just seemed to click, and probably because of the blue. Oh my goodness, I'm horrible with words. The blue outline, I'm going to call it an outline. It matched the decor, which is what I was going for. So that's why I chose them. I know the circular, what are they called, palladium windows? I felt it too. I'm like, this is too much for this house. It's too much for the neighborhood, but I went with them. I'm sticking with it. Not going to worry about it too much. But I did go lower grade with most, like the floors, the walls. I kind of tried to go early 20th century. I put curtains up. Even the doors, I would not have chosen those doors for anything, but they matched the windows. See, they do. I know, the palladium is what's wrong. They shouldn't be circular, but like I said, I just thought it looked best. So that's what I went with. Ugh. Whatever. This was the other room, this office type thing off the bedroom. So many times I moved this stuff around, and then finally I just gave up and edited it out. But you'll see it in the final pictures that I have at the end. I just didn't know what to do with them, and I figured I'd give him some alcohol because he's not depressed. I gave him the childish trait because I don't have the, is it called parenthood? the stuff pack where the parents really interact with the kids. I don't have that, but I wanted him to get down to his son's level so that it wasn't a typical Sims play where the dad goes to work, the boy goes to school, the boy comes home, the dad comes home, they eat dinner, they don't talk, they go their separate ways, they go to sleep, they wake up. It's, from what I understand, that parenthood thing, if I'm even saying the right word, fixes that. And in a really, really good way, the parents actually do interact with the children and vice versa. So that's a good thing. I just don't have the pack. So I gave the dad the childish trait. So he'll play with the boy and he'll play with the toys and they watch the Cartoon Network together. And can I say Cartoon Network? Probably not. Children's, what is it called? Kids Network or whatever. Doesn't matter. And the few times that I was in here while they were live, so that I could get those pictures, they were together. I actually had a picture of them playing chess together outside, but I couldn't fit it into this video, so it's not in here. But they do interact a lot more than they normally would, so I was pleased with that. I just don't like the fact that Dad's constantly seeking out that clay. Every time I put clay in a household, the adult Sims get addicted to it. And they can't stop touching it. They can't stop playing with it. I always find it in their inventory. It drives me nuts. The same thing with the alcohol. I don't know if this is a thing or if it's just me, but every time I put a bar in a house and like you have to have them cook or get on the computer and do their work, they're constantly having them pop up bubbles with the bar. They want to make a drink. 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 It's very annoying, and I don't know why it happens like that. I have no idea what the addiction is, because they never get drunk. But they'll drink first thing in the morning. They'll drink after coming back from a jog. They'll drink the minute they get home from work. They'll drink instead of eating, and I just don't get it. But I like to add the bar in some instances because it just goes good with the decor. So, but I don't know. It's one of those things that's, I think it's just me. Drives me nuts, but it shouldn't. It just does. I don't know. I had to fix the front here too. It was too short. I don't know if I cut that out of the video, but I think do I move it out? Oh well. Anyway, this is kind of like the end of my landscaping here. I just took a little bit more time with the front. I gave him a really nice garden because I've mentioned this before. One of the aspects of the game that I enjoy most is gardening. So every time I make a build, I make sure that the Sims have everything they need. But I'm slowly getting over that because I'm realizing if they just walk out in the world, they'll get some of the things that they need. But it all depends on the world that they live in as well. Like, if you're in Windenburg, you'll get blackberries. But if you're here in... Oh, man. Why can I never remember the name of this place? Probably because I hardly play here. I'm always in Newcrest. Whatever. There's always strawberries here. Strawberries, strawberries, strawberries. But in Foundry Cove, you also get potatoes. And then I think in the desert one, Oasis Springs. See, I can remember that, but I can't remember the name of this place. But in Oasis Springs, you get lemons, cherries if you wait long enough, and I believe in their garden they have tomatoes. Yeah, and I think even if you go down toward that secret passage place, there's onions. There's a lot more in the desert than there is here. And this place has two gardens that you can, one in the fancy neighborhood and one here. I just don't remember. When I first got this game, this was the only place I ever really played. And then I discovered Newcrest. I had no idea. I remember the first time I played this game and, you know, started messing around with it. And I really wanted to just build houses. I kept making a new game for each house. I'm like, why do I have to do this? Why can't I just keep building? And then I realized all I have to do is click on a former resident and the world shows up. I mean, it did that every single day. And I just never caught on. What is the name of this place? Ugh, I don't know. Well, there's only a couple more minutes left of this anyway, so yeah, this is where I gave up showing you guys about the landscaping. It was getting really, really frustrating. But like I said, I think I did better on the landscaping here than I did on the house this time. I kind of went out of my way with the landscaping. I don't even know why. But the chimney went well this time. The fireplace went well this time. I actually remembered to make a chimney this time. But I don't know. And then also I think it's fun to have the kids. The toddlers are adorable. I'm not going to say they're not. But they're a pain in the butt to take care of. Okay, so here's the after. Oh, and that woman in the purple shirt, she just came out of nowhere. The minute these guys landed here, she came up and did the dag thing, and I couldn't get rid of her, so she's not a part of the family. She's just somebody wandering through the neighborhood. I still can't think of the neighborhood's name. Well, I know it's Foundry Cove, but I don't know where. I don't know why I can't remember the name of this place. Ugh, it's frustrating. I feel like the lights were too low. I don't know. It just seems normal. But I think it turned out okay. Not as bad as I would have, you know, expected. Not as good as the last build, but good enough. But anyway, what I was saying is I just think that the kids are cute and their stuff that they've got is cute. And I like working with them. I just don't like dealing with them with their nightmares in school. It drives me nuts. I don't know why the game is set up that way. But, oh, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was interesting and worth watching. Hate to be thinking that I'm wasting everybody's time here. Yeah, see, them windows are a little over the top, but I went with it. I didn't care. That was my final setup there. Came out okay. Not too bad. Yeah, and the color scheme in this room, I was very worried that you guys were going to go, oh, that is so gross, but maybe it'll grow on you the way it grew on me. It's not that bad. Whatever. Alright, well, I really appreciate that you came out and watched this video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.